Good morning. Today is Sunday. Ooh, 22nd. My brother's birthday. Better text him. '22nd, 11/22/20, 11/22/20. Then I put coconut in. Yeah, I can see a layer of fat, oil. Tran, oil. My brother Ty. Thanks. It's my breakfast. I put coconut inside my coffee. It's on YouTube. So sweet. Fudge. Oh God. I think this is not sweet. Wow. This fudge is really sweet. Bought it last night. A Safeway. Damn it. Wearing a mask. That's what I get. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh well. It's called aging. Damn it. Sicily. Ugh. Not advertising that, but
Yesterday I ate ice cream. That was not good. I think my mask would fit in here. Like a present. Neck gaiter that you wear over the neck. He said he baked himself a cake. I bet his children loves it. Jasmine, Justin. Kids love cake. Daddy bake a cake. So I have 5 neck gaiter. Hey. Ta-da. You have to wrap it too. When is Jasmine and Justin's birthday? Such a bad aunt.
I don't know their birthday. I know Kate Wayman's birthday, but I don't know Jasmine's birthday. And Justin, the dragon, May 24th, and Jasmine is July 1st. Let's see. What is the May 24th? May 24th. So yeah. Gemini. July 1st. Cancer. A Gemini. And Cancer. The twin and crab. The double person and the dragon. The double mouse and the crab dragon. Hey, that's a good present, right? I wonder if I should take this portrait. I better write that down so I might forget. Better write that down. My niece and my too many nieces and nephews. Not that many. I don't have that many. What an excuse. I want their birthday so I can give them presents. Maybe I just do it for Christmas. I only give them New Year. What that? Now I need to write this down. Justin is May 24th. Gemini. Jasmine is July 1st. Cancer. And then Wayman, Keating is July 30th. And Wayman is easy. It's 2-2. All these people texting in the morning. February 2nd. Aquarius. Aquarius.
Don't know. Check. All right. I will. Present. Painted this. Get a ribbon. A green ribbon ring. Or blue. Blue ribbon. So much ribbon. Okay. All the kitchenware, chopsticks, spoons, and knives. I think I should do some artwork. Move it down. Flower. Da da. Do 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 do. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. La la la. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yo yo chum da da do do da 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 la 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 la. Where is my thing? La, 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 Yeah, is that right? Da 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 da. La, 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 la. This is yellow. Yeah. Na, 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 na. And so I see what you got for me. I will paint this with the flamboyant light. And if it's not pretty, oh well, I tried. And I did my best. Oh, I need to go watch this. Da, do, 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 la, la, la. I guess it's okay.
Wow. Seriously? Have this light on?
La 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 la.
Let it dry. I'll try to dim it. I'll try it. Put some sand in this one. Oh, all right. Now I will read a book. I'll watch
The monk.
Ooh, is there a monk? Firstly, thank you for letting my disappointing granddaughter off the hook.
The elderly man walked over, raised his arms lightly,
Put his fist to his palm, bowed solemnly. He had previously heard of Ling Ju Si, extraordinary innate talent, had warned his granddaughter against being too arrogant. Nevertheless, his own granddaughter still perished at this young maiden's hands. You're most welcome. You're most welcome, replied Ling Jusi with a smile. Master Lan, you should be clearer on this matter, more so than anyone else. Your granddaughter is a good piece of jade. It's just that there are too many sharp corners on her. If they aren't sharpened, I'm afraid she will never be able to shine as brightly as her potential should enable her to in this lifetime. Master Lan was stunned. He didn't think this would be the first thing this immature young maiden would say to him. He had long known that Lan Xingyu and Ling Jusi bet. The moment he heard about Ling Jusi letting Lan Jinsu off the hook, he knew her thoughts would not be that of a simpleton. However, he had thought that she would appear to be so much wiser than he had given her credit to be, and with such a calm, steady aptitude at that. His own granddaughter losing to this maiden wasn't a sin. Ling Jusi's mind was practically overlooking Lan Jinsu. Nobody could know how much stronger it was compared to Lan Jinsu. My terms are simple. I will help you to sharpen your granddaughter. In return, the Lan family will take care of the Ling, my relatives in Shitu town. I hope you will be able to help me care for them when I'm not around. A smile appeared on Ling Jusi's face. They held a majesty that was difficult to reject. Master Lan took a deep breath and once again assessed the young maiden before him thoughtfully. How could a golden scale remain in a small pond? It would turn into a dragon when it encounters a storm and fly off to the ocean. How could small little white stone city hold a maiden with such potential? Ling Jusi was clearly brilliant. There would come a day when she would go on to greener pastures. Very well, agreed Master Lang with a smile that was the most comfortable kind. It's a deal. I'll look forward to its outcome. I won't let you down, assured Ling Jusi with a smile. We shall wait and see how things turn out tomorrow. Should we drink all of this? No, I should drink tea. Alright, try this new peppermint. The heck is it?
Damn.
Just cut through it. Peppermint. Now I can't close because I cut through it. Whoa. See? Whatever. Alright, whatever. Wow. It's really, whoa. It's really peppermint. Get a piece of tape. Tape it back up. Okay. Now. Ta-da! Shocking, venomous, frivolous miss. Consort. Chapter 104. On the eve of the dole. In just a single night, the news of Ling Juicy and Lanson Yu in tie for first place in the experiential training competition spread throughout the entire academy. Everyone knew that both of them would be exchanging pointers the next day to determine ranking for good. Frankly, anyone who wasn't blind could tell with a mere glance that there was a problem with this situation. Even if both teams found items of the same value, Lan Jinsu team consisted of 3 people, whereas Juicy team consisted of only 2. Judging by this point alone, Juicy Jinshin had already won. Despite this, many people were anticipating a duel between Xinyu and Juicy. Xinyu was a prominent figure in the Whitestone City after all. She was known as the peerless genius and had always been put on a pedestal. She was the individual the students of the Whitestone Academy always looked up to. And Juicy herself was no lightweight. The moment she had entered Whitestone Academy, she was taken in by Mu Lu Fang as his disciple. Naturally, she also possessed her own extraordinariness. Thinking about it, her cultivation would definitely not be weak. During a duel between 2 strong cultivators, spectators always hope to catch a glance at their exceptional elegance. Leading by the exchange of pointer, Juicy didn't bring up the matter of losing party, having to cajole the other party in front of the whole school and leave Whitestone City. Xinyu also kept her mouth shut regarding the matter. It was as though the both of them had never played such a bet. Even the principal was taken back by today's martial art competition. It was a duel between 2 extraordinary people. They hadn't arrived at the martial art venue yet. The atmosphere is already incredibly boisterous because it was filled with people. The 5th princess and Ling Yichin managed to find a good spot to watch the duel film. The 5th princess was happily eating meat buns as she waited for Juicy to step into the fighting ring. The meat buns were of course brought by Juicy for breakfast. The 5th princess noticed Si Zhao Yi in passing and waved to him and shouted loudly, "Hey, hateful person, over here, over here!" See Zhao Yi. Face was full of chagrin as he walked over gingerly. "Can you not call out to me like that in front of so many people, please, Fifth Princess?" said Zhao Yi in embarrassment. He felt a headache. Everyone was looking over at them. It was really too embarrassing. "I feel the term hateful person has a nice ring to it, though," said Fifth Princess with a deadpan expression. After some thought, she offered the bag of meat bun in her hand to Yao Yi. "Here, have some. That's a bread for me. Really tasty." "Oh, thank you." Yao Yi had yet to have breakfast, so he didn't bother declining in courtesy. "Remove a bun from the oil paper bag." His princess held out to him at once. "Where is Lin Jusi?" "Master is over there. She is about to go on stage," said the Fifth Princess as she pointed toward the stage area and martial art competition venue enthusiastically. Yao Yi and Yi Jin looked in the direction the Fifth Princess was pointing in and saw Yuzi standing by the edge of the fighting ring. She was calmly chewing on a meat bun. Lu Fang was standing beside her. He seemed to be saying something to her as he reached his hand in an oil paper bag. Juicy was caring to procure a meat bun to eat without bothering the courtesy about it. She snatched the oil paper bag away from Lu Fang and put her arm defensively around it so Lu Fang couldn't take any more meat buns. Watching this, Zhao Yi and Yi Jin both felt beads of cold sweat drip down the back of their heads. Those two really had a sense of self-control. They not realize how many people are looking at them, right? Say obedient disciple, and the deadline not be shortened. Does making a mask really take so long? Negotiated. Where's my thingy? I don't like the smell at all. What is it called? Classic. Black is black. I want my baby back. Gray is gray since I went away. What can I do if I'm in love with you? Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Negotiator Lu Fang had chewed on his stolen meat bun. Early this morning, he had run over looking for Yusi to ask if she had managed to obtain all the materials needed to make a mask. When he found Yusi had all the items necessary, he was very happy. But his happiness was cut short when Yusi informed him that it would take another 2 weeks before the mask would be ready, and he already became gloom again. Alright, here's the tea bag. Just wait for me to be in a good mood. Perhaps it might only take a day then, said Lin Jusi to Mu Lu Feng, as she scanned the rows of Academy's teachers sitting on the watching the platform. Xin Yu was on the other side of the martial competition venue, getting ready to enter the ring. Let's talk after I finish cleaning up, announced Juicy. She stuffed the oil paper bag in her hand into Lu Fang, then casually wiped the oil off on his sleeve. funny. Wow, that's really pretty purse. Shop eBay. Diamond clutch. Moo Fang stared at the oil stain left on the sleeve of his robe with a resigned look on his face. He sighed helplessly, then proceeded to take another meat bun from the oil paper bag. He took a huge bite out of his freshly stolen bun, walked over to watch the platform where all the teachers were, and took his seat next to Whitestone Accounting principal. Lu Fang sat down and continued to content himself with the remaining meat bun as he silently kept his eyes trained on the fighting ring. It's so sunny outside. There were oil stains on Moo Lu Fang's sleeve, as though someone had wiped their fingers on it. The sight of this sent howling shock waves through the principal's heart. Did he see it wrong? Moo Lu Fang, the keen freak, had actually allowed someone to wipe that greasy hand on his sleeves. Ha ha. Funny. The sight of this sent howling shock waves through the principal's heart. Did he sees it wrong? One needed to know that Moo Lu Fang bathed twice a day. Make sure to use 2 sets of clothing a day and even put on musk. The last time someone accidentally spilled tea on him, that someone was swatted directly against a wall. Now here, Lu Fang was using his bare hands to hold the meat bun he was eating, and even allowing Juicy to use his sleeveless dishcloth. What exactly made Juicy so extraordinary that Lu Fang viewed her differently from others? The principal rubbed his eyes and refocused his attentions on the fighting ring within which Juicy now stood. He wanted to observe properly and see for himself what made Juicy so extraordinary. At present, Juicy's face was calm, and she surveyed the fighting ring. She looked at Sinew. Finally, with impulsing expressions, slowly called out her in a serious tone. Sinew. She was stunned. Seeing so this was the first time Juicy had called out her name in such serious manner. Her heart shivered, even as she subconsciously replied, "What's the matter?" "Come on, then. Today you lose so badly even your grandfather won't be able to recognize you," said Juicy deliberately, with a slight smile. She was duly provoked.
was about to explode from anger at the sound of these words. Without saying anything in reply, she lashed out the golden whip by her waist. She didn't bother waiting for the agitating teacher to obfuscate the start of the duel before she attacked Juicy. Students by the fighting ring were taken back by how Jinsu snuck an attack like that without any regard for rules. As Juicy words entered on Sinyu ears, she almost spat out blood due to her anger. Only teachers who stood nearby and those with strong cultivation had heard Juicy words clearly. Watching Lan Sinyu being condemned as much make them feel pangs of pity for her. What a woeful sight. Juicy was truly a master of angering people to death without compensating with her life. Seeing the Lan Jinsu golden whip, Juicy's smile merely broadened ever so lightly as she drilled the Lu Chen sword, calmly met her attack. No one noticed. Master Lan sitting in silence behind, watching the platform. He observed the duel between the two maidens without blinking, giving Master Lan's ability level. He clearly heard Yusi's provocative words, and were uttered in all seriousness. He also saw his own granddaughter's reactive impulse performance. He shook his head lightly. His own granddaughter was truly too green regarding matters of the mind. She wasn't in a war, Juicy little finger in comparison. Lan Sinyu, below in rage, as she launched attacks with the golden whip in her hand, at such a dizzying speed at one's head spun at the sight. The golden whip sliced through the air as it glimmered with the white light of Lan Sinyu battle's chi. From the start of the battle to its end, Ling Juicy had a calm smile on her face. She countered every strike with her sword in smooth movements, while light emitted from her and split forth right then. The glow didn't seem to be any weaker than Sinyu battle chi light. If anything, it was brighter. The sight of this left everyone was shocked. Juicy cultivation was the least bit worse as compared to Sinyu at all. It was stronger. Sinyu was known as a fearless genius and was already at battle chi level 7 primary at a tender age of 17. Juicy was only 16 this year, but she already reached battle chi level 7 primary. By the time she turned 17 next year, Juicy would definitely be even stronger. 106 Dole 2. The people in the audience had changed directions of their thoughts 1,000 times since the duel started. But the two individuals on stage dueling didn't have such complicated thoughts. They were busy exchanging blows. Golden Whip and Lu Chan's sword met mid-air, collide over and over. Now the Golden Whip entangled itself around Lu Chan's sword. The rays of white light emitted from this prolonged contact was very dazzling. Sinyu snorted and used her strength to pull back the Golden Whip in an attempt to disarm Juicy. However, Juicy smiled and concentrated harder. Strong force ran through Lu Chan's sword and swept over. Sinyu's expression suddenly changed, and she rushed to Ran in her Golden Whip. As a large force ran through the sword, and then through the whip rapidly, Sinyu was unable to hold on to her Golden Whip. Before Sinyu managed to land on her feet steadily, Sinew's sharp sword already appeared before her. Sinew's heart skipped a beat. She quickly did a backflip in midair, narrowing, avoiding slash of a sword. The moment her feet touched the ground, the view before her turned dark. Juicy didn't give her any time to take a breath. His current attack whooshed through the sky as the white light of Juicy battle chi seemed to solidify. It made for a chilling sight. At this point, all the masters on site seemed to realize Juicy battle chi seems to be a little different. However, no one delved too deeply into this observation at present. There were many family clans who trained the members, using their own skill manuals, passed down throughout generations, so it was natural to see different types of battle chi from clan to clan as a result of such differences in training. However, Juicy battle chi did appear to be much fiercer and more domineering. Right then, a surge of fear swelled in Sinew's heart. Why was this so? It was because it was clear to her the Juicy cultivation level was not that far apart from hers. Why did she have this feeling of being unable to catch her breath? Juicy every move was stroked by a fierce, murderous intent. It was as though Juicy had channeled her own experience with cruelty, finality, brutality, death itself. How is it possible she experienced such things? She's only 16 and this was her first time participating in training. The aura of death was so clear and present in this very moment. The sword had arrived too close for Sinew comfort. Everyone sucked in their breath in cold anticipation. With a quick thought, Sinew finally summoned her mystical pet. In the next moment itself, a chilling light flashed, and Juicy's sword was deflected by a sharp claw. Sinew was saved. A huge and tall great battle wolf stood majestically in the midst of the fighting ring. The strong, sturdy limbs emanated a sense of beauty. The battle wolf with white teeth were incomparably sharp. Its body was covered in a smooth coat of fur, and its claws were so pointed. A chilling light flashed off them to the extent where it could make one's heart shiver. The battle wolf raised its head and unleashed a long, powerful roar that resounded throughout the martial art venue. The roar was so piercing that the eardrums of many of the spectators began to throb in pain. This was Lan Sinew, Monster Beast, Level 3 Battle Wolf. A Level 3 Battle Wolf possessed by superior speed and strength, but its strength that caused its opponent the greatest headache was its cunningness. It never battled in a direct, straightforward manner. Instead, it constantly looked for weaknesses to exploit and opportunities to attack relentlessly. Whenever its opponent attacked, it would retreat, and vice versa. It was a monster beast that wasn't so easily dealt with. The corners of Lan Sinew now lifted slightly, without giving Juicy any chance to prepare. She let out a clear whistle. Battle Wolf leaped into the air, pounced on Juicy, bearing its terrifying fangs and radiating a bone-piercing, chilling intent. Juicy didn't dare be careless. As her sword arched around, Battle Wolf's sharp claws quickly, accurately smacked into Luchan's sword blade. An enormous strength carried down the blade and slowed its advance without waiting for Juicy to change her stance. Sinew golden whiplash toward her with a strong whistling sound. Sinew had also learned to become smarter in navigating this battle. She knew her own battle chi wasn't comparable to Juicy, so she didn't dare cast her whip around her sword. Instead, she borrowed Battle Wolf ability to coordinate Juicy right there, and she wanted her and launch her fierce attack on her directly. Juicy figure flashed by. The Luchan sword avoided sharp claws of the Battle Wolf and blocked the attack of the Golden Whip at the same time. However, right then, Battle Wolf suddenly changed its direction. It twisted its body full of much agility and bounced toward Juicy once again. Juicy immediately took a step backward and used her sword to block its attack. The Luchan sword and Battle Wolf sharp claws collided against each other, producing a screeching sound that made one's teeth shiver. Then a loud crack sounded. Lan Xinyu long golden whip was close to landing a blow on Juicy's body, but it missed narrowly and lashed the ground beneath her instead, sending a crisp snap throughout the air and dust flying about. A light trace remained where the whip struck the ground. By now, there were whoops and cries of excitement coming from the spectators area off stage. "107 Victory." President Yi Chin's pupil contracted and his fist clenched slightly. He was feeling very nervous as he watched Juicy battle on stage. Fifth Princess began to wail. "Oh no, Master, it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous." Xie Yao Yi steadily kept his eyes on the door without uttering a word. With a few quick pierces of her sword, Juicy finally managed to make Battle Wolf retreat. The exchange of blows from the Battle Wolf was brief. Juicy alone was the most aware of the danger they contained. If she had wielded her sword just a little slower, or if his battle chi was a tad weaker, she would have already lost at this moment. Juicy narrowed her eyes at the mark the whip left on the ground. If her steps had been just a little slower, would that whip have lashed her face instead of the ground? It seems as though Xinyu had decided to go all out to win this time. A level 3 monster beast was indeed out of the ordinary. If one could coordinate well with it, that alone would be enough to increase a person's battling power by a few tiers. Xinyu bit her lips slightly while looking at Juicy. She actually managed to dodge the attack. However, she knew that with her own cultivation skill and the help of level 3 Battle Wolf, there would be no one within the same cultivation level who was her match. The next time she struck, Juicy would not be so lucky. This duel must be won by her, because she could not afford to lose. When tremor ran through Xinyu Golden Whip, sound of its lashing ringing out as crisply as a silver bell. Golden Whip emitted a thick, dazzling light. Battle Wolf lowered its body slightly, twisted its mouth into a growl as it broke into a run around Juicy. The speed of the Battle Wolf momentum turned the sight of it into an after-image. Although the Battle Wolf didn't directly attack Juicy this time, it brought out a feeling of danger due to its unpredictable actions. Although Juicy knew Xinyu would use his strongest attack this time, there was a little bit of fear in her heart. Juicy pointed the Luchan sword toward the sky to majestically release her thunderbolt battle chi. Right then, the surrounding air seemed to have frozen. Without knowing whether or not it was misconception, some people saw the sword in Juicy's hand emitted a flash of blue light. But upon leaning forward for a closer look, the blue light appeared to no longer be there. Therefore, everyone thought it was merely their misconception. Battlewolf's long hall resounded haltingly down the venue. Suddenly, it bounced from behind. Juicy at the same time, the golden whip lashed forth. Again, in another attack. Twilight ripped through the air, creating an air vacuum that was invisible to the naked eye. Yet Juicy stood majestically, still without moving an inch. A chilling light flashed across her eyes. She felt a bloodlust emanating from Blood Wolf behind her, and she let the image of the whip, inching closer to her, appear in her mind's eye infinitely. Be careful, gasped the enrapt audience from around the stage. Right in, Link Juicy sword also moved through the air, drawing out an even more dazzling light. All of a sudden, the sound of a sad whimper filled the venue. Tall, big, strong body of Battlewolf crashed to the ground from above, as though it had been hit out of the sky by a humongous rock. Battlewolf curled up into a ball. The whimper continuously struggled to get up. After Battlewolf had tried to get up diligently a few times and failed, finally lay on the ground helplessly. Sinyu stood rooted to the spot. There were traces of blood leaking out her slightly clenched fist. Golden Whip had been lost off stage. Sinyu's face was terribly hue of white, and her eyes brimmed with fear and disbelief. Lucian's sword rested gently against her throat, radiating a chilling murderous intent that was fell straight through to her heart. The whole venue had fallen silent, someone watching was stunned. Lost. Sinyu had actually lost. Even though she had level 3 Battle Wolf aiding her, she had actually lost, and she had lost in such a simple and direct manner too. The glimmer of light had been too dazzling for many in the audience to have clearly perceived Juicy movements. But just looking at the result of her actions, they could only imagine how fast and how strong the wield of her sword was. Only did she manage to severely injure a level 3 Battle Wolf with a single blow, she had even mightily cut down Sinyu's golden whip. From this alone, one could also tell how strong Juicy grasp a battle opportunity was. 108 underhand. Sinyu looked at Juicy in a daze. She lowered her head and cast her line of sight down to her own 2 hands that were trembling slightly. She lost. She was defeated so thoroughly without a chance of turning the tides. What is this? Juicy won? Of course. Are you blind? Wasn't it obvious enough? No, it's just that I find it too hard to believe a Whitestone Academy peerless genius has actually been defeated just like that. Juicy is true peerless genius. That was too amazing. I have decided that she will be my idol from now on. The audience area facing the stage. There was currently a lot of discussion going around, and voices were being raised louder and louder. Sinyu's face had turned ash white. By now, she thought she would win in this exchange of pointers. She never thought she would suffer such a thorough defeat like this. This was her first time experiencing such a shameful defeat. At present, it wasn't merely a question of never being able to go back to her previous status, receiving respect and praise, but rather it was the prickling, incredible sense of shame that cut into her heart like a sharp knife. It was overwhelming to the point where she could not breathe. How does it feel, Sinyu? Is your last taste of defeat satisfying and enjoyable? Juicy playfully as she sheathed Lu Chan's sword with a smile. Sinew body froze as she lifted her head to look at Juicy in rage. Juicy wasn't the least bit bothered by Sinew's glare. She sneered as she turned away to look at the educating teacher instead. He was still in a daze. Teacher, are you buying time or something? Or do you also wish to be like the teacher who was in charge of registration and training the other day? Do you want to speak blindly with your eyes wide open and declare Sinew as the winner? The corners of Juicy's lips curled into a provocative arc as she stared straight to the teacher and questioned him. Her tone wasn't a bit courteous. Sinew heard Juicy words and almost wanted to spew blood. Juicy saying this was practically cutting open her wounds. She had indeed felt a little guilty due to the teacher bias yesterday. She felt a constant tug at her heart. Now that Juicy had spelled it out so clearly in front of everyone, she felt even more ashamed and embarrassed. The educating teacher finally regained his sense and meekly announced loudly, "The winner of this exchange appointer is Juicy. First place in year's experiential training competition is awarded to the small team consisting of Juicy and Ling Chen. Under such circumstances, how could he dare to be biased toward anyone? Could he dare to be declare Sinew as the winner? What would be the outcome? He was unable to clear, as it would ruin the good name of Whitestone Academy." Once the educating teacher word settled the crowd even more stirred now. This was a beautiful counterattack. Nobody thought that Juicy would actually be declared a winner. But she was. She won so beautifully at that. Juicy smiled slightly and walked to the side of fighting ring while Little White had been waiting for her. She bent slightly to pick Little White up. Just as she was about to take her leave, a clear voice rang out across the whole venue, overpowering the noise of the posturing discussion everyone else was having. "Sinew, didn't you say that you lost in training to Juicy? That you would cut toll to her 3 times and then leave Whitestone City?" The voice was disguised so no one could clearly identify whether the person was speaking from. Right then, Sinew's face became even paler, as though the blood on her face had been drained. She had subconsciously tried to forget about that bet, but now the detail of it had been shouted out for everyone to hear. Principal teachers watching platform frowned. Wasn't this bet a little too ruthless? Master Lan had furrowed his brow as he watched the situation unfold. He could tell that someone was intentionally bringing up the matter at this time on purpose. The person had disguised his voice to make it difficult to pinpoint who the speaker was and where the voice came from. Obviously, the speaker was afraid of Lan family wrath regarding the matter once it had come to pass. Nobody noticed Pai Chin lower her voice as she waited, but at the side of the stage, there was an evil, scary smile on her face that remained unseen. Eyes were full with frenzied elation. 109. Humiliation. Sinew bit her lips in despair. A small trace of blood colored her lips. She took in a deep breath and slowly walked to where Juicy stood in the ring. Despair surrounded her heart. Her pride, reputations were in tatters at the moment, but what she felt guilty about was that Lan family reputation was going to be ruined because of her. Sinew was about to fulfill her end of bet in despair. Juicy turned to her and began speaking with a smile. Her voice rang out clearly throughout the entire venue. She was clearly using her battle chi. "Oh, is there such a thing? How come I didn't know about it?" Juicy from the middle of the fighting ring would smile, beautiful as flower. Her bright smile enraptured the crowd. She continued, "Who was it who spoke just now? I don't see the humor in that joke. It really is too humorless." Sinew stood in daze. She gaped at Juicy, who was still radiant with a smile, beautiful as flowers, not daring to believe her own ears. Juicy doing? The audience before the stage quietened down. Nobody spoke a word. Pie Chin Chin raised her head in astonishment to look at Juicy and met with her sharp, sweeping gaze. The sight of it surprised her so much that she felt pricked by her own guilty conscience and immediately lowered her head again. The one who said those words just now was you, wasn't it? I see that you're quite attentive to such petty matters. Why don't you come up here so I can fulfill your desire? I'll let you roll out of Whitestone City smoothly. What did you say? Said Ling Juicy as she pointed a slender fair finger in the direction of a man in gray who was hiding in a corner. The crowd turned to look at the direction of Ling Juicy was pointing. Saw a man whose face had already paled. He obviously didn't think Juicy would have been able to perceive that he was the one who had spoken the statement earlier. Furthermore, he never thought Juicy would purposely attract attention to him like this. Xu Yun Fang took a look at the man and frowned slightly. He knew him. Not only was he a Whitestone Academy student, but he was also Pai Chin Chin admirer. I was just kidding. That was just a joke. The man awkwardly, with a wave of his hand, as witness of the duel between Juicy and Cindy earlier, he was of course very aware of the fact that he was no match for Juicy. Like I said, I don't find this joke at least a bit funny. Juicy, as his gaze chilled, in a mere split second, her body seemed to radiate an imposing aura that felt like a sharp blade of sword making people shut up. This way, contrasting temperament. The next time there is such a joke, I'll oblige you to take it seriously. The man shrank back, the shade of his face alternating between a deathly white and sickly gray. He forced a smile, and then promptly whirled round and nudged his way through the crowd to run away. I'm going to stop for now. See ya.